it's as tough as it comes. I think got a lot of respect for Illinois, their players and how they play, and I just think they've got a talented, athletic bunch, and obviously Brad has them playing exceptionally hard, and together they're playing really well. So to respond like we did, being down, was really important for us, and we knew it was going to be a game of some runs and a game of imperfection, we kind of went into it understanding that. So having a resilient approach was really important, and the guys did that. They deserve a lot of credit.
Chris, with no Cam, you
Yeah.
kind of look like the type of game a lot of us thought starting the season you would need. Cada with a lot of points. Losing him, what does that do? Specifically, what changes and what had to change today?
Well, against them, what it does is it eliminates, one, a little bit your depth a little bit. Cam's playing, I think, about 22 minutes a game. But he's so efficient with time and space from 15 feet or behind the three-point line. So it eliminates a guy that is, you really have to know where he's at. And in their defense, the way they play, they give you some open shots, and they do such a great job scrambling out. But I just think maybe could he have gotten the 6 or 8 points off of a one more type of an opportunity. That's what I think we would have missed.
Did you have to talk to Cada? I mean, now a little more on his shoulders. I know that they deflect that kind of talk, but he is going to be expected to have to do more, I would think.
No, not because I think we're going to have to do more collectively. I don't know that it'll all be on Cada. I get your point there, but I think it's going to be us collectively. You know, this is the type of game where it's really a player's game, the way Illinois plays, because they force you to make plays. They force your best players to make plays, and in a lot of ways, your guards to make plays. And that's not necessarily a strength of our group. I thought CJ really responded well, but I think we're just going to have to be a little bit better until Cam returns.
Coach, with Cam out, what are you looking to get out of Musa Jallow, and what went into your decision to start Andre over Musa?
Yeah, I think Musa gave us really good minutes today. You know, I think he gave us a good defensive approach. He was aggressive and active. I was really pleased with Musa. His minutes are going to probably increase a little bit during this stretch. We just want him to be him, be ready to make open shots, be ready to be aggressive, come in, give us a great defensive presence. In terms of who we started, I don't know that we're set that it's always going to be Andre, but we felt like we wanted another ball handler to come off the bench, and that's why we wanted to bring Dockage off the bench, just because we knew it would be hard for JT and CJ to be the only primary ball handlers. So, and I thought Andre did a really nice job, particularly defensively late. He was great.
Chris, you guys had 15 turnovers, I think it was, but you said you knew this would be kind of an imperfect game. Is there a number you come in with that's like allowable when you're playing a team that turns you over as much as Illinois does?
Well, certainly more than what you typically have because of the way they play, and it's, you know, it can be feast or famine at times. But they certainly turned us over, and I think our turnovers that led, you know, pick six type turnovers, or turnovers that led the scores were the really critical ones. You know, I didn't come in necessarily with a number. I thought if we could keep it 12 or 13, I would be pleased. We had a few more that were probably ones that were within our control, where we have to be better. You know, we've had too many here lately, and we've got to improve in that area, and I've got to make sure we improve in that area.
The bulk of them, though, seem to come in the first 10 minutes of the first half.
Yeah.
I think only 5 of them were in the second half. What settled you guys down? Was it the defensive effort fueling the offense, or just why did the turnover numbers start to come down a little bit?
I think that was a big part of it, is our defense got better. But I think the way they play, and we talked about as a coaching staff going into it, it takes a little time, because there's very few teams in the country that play like this, okay, defensively. So it takes you a little bit of time to get a feel for it and to understand how, you know, you go into it with the game plan, you talk about the pressure, we prepared for 3 days for it, and then you see it with their athleticism, and it's different. And I think getting a feel for it was as much a comfort level was probably as important as anything.
Starting alongside Andre, did you feel like CJ Jackson kind of took a lot of the responsibility, especially in the backcourt, and kind of that explained his kind of struggles today?
Well, I just think how much they ask this game forces you to do at the point guard spot. It can wear you out, and I think there was some fatigue associated with some of his missed shots as much as anything.
And do you feel like his struggles today kind of the reason behind him was the way that Illinois played, or was it just personally just an off day for him?
I think I give more credit to Illinois than I do. Yeah, I thought his response there when he had struggled to make some shots and then he made some free throws late and made some plays and finished at the basket. That's a real step for CJ because we all know he can get down on himself. And when you're playing with kind of one point guard, and in some ways he's as comfortable off the ball as he is with the ball in his hands. And then Andrew, I had 2 point guards with he and Andrew, and although we started kind of JT at the point, that's a lot for him, and I thought his ball handling improved as the game went on.